News continues on the English language broadcast of the Voice of Turquia. Assuming office earlier this month, the Labour Party government pledged to address the root causes of the migration issue by allocating £84 million to projects in the Middle East and Africa. News continues on the English language broadcast of the Voice of Turkey. Israel's Prime Minister Sintonia will address the joint houses of the U.S. Congress in a bid to boost support for his war in the Gaza Strip. Benjamin Netanyahu's invite was initiated by the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, whose party is trying to show unflinching support for Israel. But several Democratic lawmakers plan to boycott the address over the levels of U.S. military assistance to Israel, given the huge numbers of Palestinians killed. In the meantime, the arrival of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has touched off a flurry of protests in the nation's capital, including a sit-in at the congressional office building that ended with multiple arrests. Some of the demonstrations have condemned Israel, and others have expressed support while pressuring Netanyahu to strike a ceasefire deal and bring home the hostages still being held in Gaza. Netanyahu arrived in Washington, D.C. Monday for a visit that includes meetings with President Joe Biden and a Wednesday speech before a joint session of Congress. Dozens of protesters rallied outside his hotel Monday evening, and on Tuesday afternoon, hundreds of demonstrators staged a flash mob-style protest in the Cannon building, which houses offices of House of Representative members. Organized by Jewish Wars for Peace, protesters wearing red T-shirts that read, "Not in our name," took over the building's rotunda, staying on the floor, unfurling signs and chanting, "Let Gaza live." As of 8 p.m. Tuesday night, the Capitol Police said they didn't have a final tally of the number of people arrested. Biden and Netanyahu are expected to meet Thursday, according to a U.S. official who spoke on condition of anonymity ahead of the White House announcement. Vice President Kamala Harris will also meet with Netanyahu separately that day. Harris, as Senate President, would normally sit behind foreign leaders addressing Congress, but she will be away Wednesday on an Indianapolis trip scheduled before Biden withdrew his re-election bid, and she became the likely Democratic presidential candidate over the weekend. Meanwhile, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump announced on Truth Social that he will meet with Netanyahu on Friday. Meanwhile, Turkey's Foreign Ministry issued a written statement welcoming a unity declaration adopted by Palestinian political factions in Beijing. The statement said Turkey is pleased with Palestinian political factions meeting in Beijing at the invitation of China and their adoption of a declaration on national unity. We commend the contribution of the People's Republic of China to the inter-Palestinian reconciliation process under the current circumstances as the Israeli attacks in Gaza continue in full force and the aggression in the West Bank and East Jerusalem intensifies. Achieving political unity in Palestine has become even more important and urgent. We expect that the steps outlined in the declaration adopted in Beijing will be implemented, and that the long-standing efforts to achieve political unity in Palestine, to which Turkey has also contributed, will be successfully completed as soon as possible, the statement said. And sports. As Olympic river rises, QR codes are in use on the streets of Paris to gain access to areas within a secured perimeter around the river Seine. Up to 75,000 police, soldiers and guards are on patrol in Paris at any one time, in the largest peacetime deployment of secret forces in French history. A Russian man was this week arrested on suspicion of plotting acts of destabilization during the event, as France said it had screened more than 1 million people as part of the extensive security measures. Meanwhile, Hamas said in a video footage containing threats of attack on the 2024 Olympic Games has been fabricated by Israel. Member of Hamas's political bureau, Izzat al-Rishk, said in a written statement that Israel-affiliated social media accounts have posted a fake video which is falsely attributed to Palestinian resistance and contains death threats as Israel is participating in the Olympic Games. Member of Hamas's political bureau, Izzat al-Rishk, emphasized that these videos are part of Israel's propaganda to tarnish the image of Palestinian resistance, saying efforts calling for a boycott of Israel should be supported. And that was the news and sports, brought to you by the Voz of Turkey.
Review of the Turkish press. Yeni Şafak says that the Turkish Foreign Ministry issued a written statement criticizing Israel's efforts to declare the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, as a terror organization. The Foreign Ministry statement said it is unacceptable that Israel, which has targeted civilians sheltering in UNRWA schools in Gaza,